Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door released around 20 years ago. And, hang on. This doesn't feel right. This is a special occasion. We gotta do something fun, right? Much better. Paper Mario has been coloring in and out of the lines since 2000, starting strong on the Nintendo 64 with what almost felt like a follow-up to Super Mario RPG's its own turn-based RPG flirted with timed action commands, a colorful cast of new partners, and a wonderful little story. Paper Mario was received pretty well on the N64, enough to warrant a sequel 4 years later on the Gamecube. In 2004, Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door released on the Gamecube and people loved this game. Like to this day, I hear such amazing high praise for this one. But following the Thousand Year Door, Nintendo was already developing another Paper Mario game for the Gamecube. The reason being is this would be a different spin on the Paper Mario formula, but eventually it got pushed to the Wii. Now, it released as Super Paper Mario, and it's a completely different type of game. While Thousand Year Door and 64 are both RPGs, Super Paper Mario is a 2D platformer with RPG elements. Now, Super Paper Mario was a welcome change because it still upheld what Paper Mario did so well previously, and that was good stories with wonderful new spins on Mario characters. The Paper Mario series changes a lot of generic Mario enemies and makes them much more interesting, giving the worlds presented much more life and personality. That's great and all, but what if we took all that and threw it out the window? In 2012, Paper Mario Sticker Star released on the 3DS. People went nuts! Everybody hated this game! Sticker Star took out all the creative characters and all the cool locations and turned Paper Mario into just another generic Mario game. But that's not all, it completely shifted the gameplay again! Sticker Star went back to the turn-based battle formula the original two Paper Marios did, but this time they creased it, tore it, and folded it into something completely different. In the original two Paper Marios, when in battle, you could select from a decent selection of moves, and the better you time them, the more damage you deal to the enemies. Once you kill enough enemies, you level up, giving you either more HP, FP, or BP. This in turn makes the battles feel worth it. It gives you a reason to fight every enemy you see. Well, in Sticker Star, not only is the XP system completely absent, but now your moveset is only limited to the stickers you pick up along the way? That's right, you can run out of jumping abilities in this game. But not only did Sticker Star remove all the creative and fun characters, but they also changed the formula of a very strong battle system into something that was different. On its own, Paper Mario Sticker Star is an alright video game, but as a Paper Mario game, it's a staple too short. Well, a couple years down the line, Nintendo actively ignored the feedback and dove right back into the Sticker Star formula with one of the last Wii U games, Paper Mario Color Splash. They gave Paper Mario a white outline? Now, Color Splash is a weird one. Before even giving this one a chance, this was thrown out the window. Not only was it a follow-up to Sticker Star, but it was also on the... That's two things it had going against it right off the gate. Not to mention the Nintendo Switch was already on its way, so why even bother buying more Wii U games? Oh, and sometime before Color Splash and after Sticker Star, Mario & Luigi Paper Jam released on the 3DS. Cool. It wouldn't be until 2020 out of nowhere we got Paper Mario the Origami King for the Nintendo Switch. This one has a little different spin on the battle system, and the partner system was kinda back. People looked at this one as a step in the right direction for Paper Mario. It's a solid game with a fun battle system that I think they personally could have expanded on a bit more, but what we got was really fun. Paper Mario the Origami King wasn't the return to the classic Paper Mario formula. Would we ever see that return? Well, with the Nintendo Switch on its way out the door, Nintendo's throwing out some wild titles that they know will sell. Now's a better time than ever to release those remakes or remasters, because why take a risk on a console that's on its way out the door? So that's why we're seeing remakes like Mario RPG or Mario vs. Donkey Kong, or remasters like Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. But among that group of remakes and remasters, a remake of Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door was announced. Fans were beyond excited, and could you really blame them? It's so wild to think that we live in a timeline that Nintendo actually buckled down and remade The Thousand-Year Door. I never thought this would happen. I pre-ordered my copy, and thankfully I wasn't some of the unlucky few whose pre-orders got cancelled. And just recently I played through the whole thing start to finish. This wasn't my first rodeo either. I played and owned the original Gamecube version, so I was really looking for what they can improve on from the last one. Now, I'll jump right in. First and foremost, the game is gorgeous. Each location looks better than ever. Revisiting these locales was an absolute treat, especially areas like Twilight Town. But with the improved graphics came an issue. The game only runs at 30 FPS. To me, the frame rate didn't matter. It never got in the way, and the only noticeable frame rate drops I saw were when thousands of characters flooded the scene. Sure, it sucks that the original ran at 60 and this one runs at 30, but the 30 FPS is barely noticeable. It doesn't bother me. But what's wonderful locations without a wonderful soundtrack? Thousand-Year Door already had a really solid soundtrack, but combining its wonderful OST with modern Paper Mario ideas like different spins on the main battle theme depending on the location make me oh so happy. There isn't a song here that wasn't improved. And if you prefer the classic music, there's a badge that lets you swap back, which is nice, but I'll never use it. Going with the updated graphics and soundtrack, there are also plenty of quality of life changes. Most notably the partner wheel. Being able to swap your partners on the go is extremely convenient. Now just to get Koops to hit a switch, you don't have to stop the game, find them, and jump right back in. You can just find them on the partner wheel. It's so nice. Now, the original Thousand-Year Door suffered from obnoxious and seemingly pointless backtracking. And while it isn't exactly absent here, there are a couple fixes to it. Like a pipe room to every location. There are still segments that I think the backtracking brings the experience down a little, but overall it's handled pretty well in the remake. Now, not all the changes are good. For who knows what reason, they slowed down the text speed a ton. Like in the original game, you could pop out these text bubbles in no time if you just spam the A button. Now you gotta wait until every little letter appears on the screen before you can move on. While this won't affect the gameplay or your experience as a whole, it's just like, why? Why slow it down? It was fine the way it worked beforehand. Now, what the Thousand-Year Door does best is its battle system. While if done properly, you'll rarely struggle. But it still has you planning out moves way ahead of time, but each battle takes place on a stage. Meaning at any given point, some randomness can throw off your entire plan, causing you to step back, buckle down, and plan it all out again. This is an incredible fight system with worthwhile rewards for leveling up. Each fight gives you so much to keep in mind, whether it be what partner has the right move for the fight, or is the audience gonna throw a rock at me? It keeps the game feeling exciting and fresh for each fight. Now, as for the story, it's obviously the same, minus a couple dialogue changes, but still full of wonderful characters with such good backstories. Each partner is very interesting and engaging, not to mention the story itself is a classic treasure hunt that works really well with the world presented. Seeing this game be remade is still unbelievable to me. It's done incredibly well and extremely faithful to the original, and most importantly, having this game on the go is awesome. This is the perfect game for long car trips, and now you can finally do that. The remake provides a beautiful experience, making this the definitive way to play this game. Finally, after waiting all this time, Paper Mario folded back to its classic RPG roots. Yeah, it's safe to say that I'd recommend the Thousand-Year Door remake. Tyler, it's back! Goodness gracious. You gotta be careful, little guy. You almost got cut. All right, that's enough excitement for today. Let's get you back to somewhere where you'll be much safer. Ah! Paper cut? Okay, if that's how you want to play that shit, forget safety. You're gonna paper cut me, I'm gonna paper cut you.